Hello, my name is Terry Grewe, and I know there's some new faces that don't know who I am, so I'll leave a stack of my business cards for anybody who would like one to ask any questions that they may have thought of after I've addressed everybody who's been here tonight. I think what the mayor said was very important, which is the starting over, as if tonight was the first night that we were talking about this. The reason why I'm here tonight is because, unlike tonight starting over, some 10 plus years ago, almost 12 years ago, I started a relationship with 5 landowners that own the bulk of what is the Columbia Crossings development area. And I asked them for permission to speak on their behalf, and they all signed a notarized document for me to speak on their behalf tonight. They may also have some comments that they'd like to make, but I think it's really important that these few comments that I want to make tonight are made. Number one, and in this order, the city. What the city should care most about, and I know there will be some naysayers that will read what I say tomorrow in the paper, or even some people in the audience here, and they'll say, that's one-sided what Terry Grewe is saying. But the facts are, if you go to any area that we've developed in the past 27 years, what you'll find is that we maintain our developments and we do care about the city that we operate in. The reason why I mention that is because one of the things, if we're starting over, the city should care most about. I've met some very fine people in the city of Columbia, and I've also met fine people who don't agree with me. And that's okay too, to have a difference of opinion on things, as long as you do it in a civil manner. Today, what the city of Columbia has to focus on is not about Columbia Crossings or any development in the bottoms as much as they should be focused on their reputation as a city. Because when they go down the road with a developer and landowners to the degree that we have, and then at the end they change their mind and they pull the rug out from under them, that sends a bad message. So for any development to come into the city of Columbia down the road, whether it's a one anchored, I'm looking at a large grocery store coming to town, or if it's a homeowner or a landowner who wants to develop his farm into homes or whatever, it's important that the developer, whoever it is, whether it's Terry Grewe from St. Louis, Missouri, or somebody from Indianapolis or California, they have the confidence that when they work with the city in good faith, of the agreements that they enter into will be upheld. That should be the number one concern of the city of Columbia if they're starting over. That's one of the biggest concerns of the landowners, because whether I'm able to convince them again to extend an option to give me the time necessary to develop their property, which is what they wanted 12 years ago. They wanted to sell their property for development. That's what I told them when I met with them the very first time. So that would be the first thing I would say as it relates to the starting over. The next thing that I would say to the landowners of the city of Columbia, and not just the people in the bottoms, any landowner in the city of Columbia, you should be able to sell your property for its highest and best use. Any landowner in the city of Columbia, whether it's in the bottoms or not, should be able to sell their property for the highest and best use. That's all of the people in the bottoms that I represent have wanted to do. Sell their property for the highest and best use. The incentives. Don't take my word for it. Contact other cities. Cities of Chesterfield, Shrewsbury, Waterloo, any city. What's driving development today is no longer location, location, location. It's incentives, incentives, incentives. The retail market believes that the people will find them. So they'll use their resources to advertise, to get people to find where they are, to change the traffic patterns, shopping patterns. Once they do, they'll come back. You have to incentivize development or you will have none. The city of Chesterfield, where I live, they have a dog park in the city of Chesterfield. They couldn't offer that. They couldn't offer the fact that they rolled back real estate taxes if not for Chesterfield Commons. Chesterfield today is contemplating 2 other large shopping center developments inside of their city, and they're incentivizing those developers to come and develop there because they don't want it to happen in St. Charles County. With all of the prosperity that's happened in Chesterfield, some might think, why would you give more incentives away? You give them away to get, just like the other woman said. You have to give something to get something because that's what drives development today. In our plan, we did show mixed use. We did show opportunities for trails, networks, and so on and so forth, where people will be welcome to come with their pets. Also, more than anything, whether this is the first of many times I visit with the City of Columbia or the last time, the most important thing to do is to get the accurate information out to the voters, to the people that you represent. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that in Waterloo they did that development without incentives. That's not true. That's just not true. And anybody who wants to find that out, they won't believe me. They should contact Walmart directly or contact the city and they'll find that out. They did incentivize that project. Another misinformation is that we needed, Columbia Crossings development needed levee repairs to build our development. That wasn't true either at the time. We could have built an excess of almost 1 million square feet of hotel, 1.2 million of retail, and 1 million square feet of office with the levee the way it is. Now, the certification might have changed since when we submitted, but the idea that something massive had to take place with that levee in order for us to build something is just factually not correct. And the people who keep fear-mongering and bringing up things that are not true needs to be stopped. I've already paid for all of my engineering, architectural plans, and experts, to analyze all this. You're welcome to it, whether I'm the guy that the landowners decided to go forward with or not. It's a short window of time. In order to build the interchange, which is very important for the city to know and all the residents to know, you have to have all 5 of the landowners to build it. Can't have 3, can't have 2. You got to have all 5. We've had all 5 for 10 years. In closing, I want to say thank you to every person who's either sat on the council and agreed with me or disagreed for their time. Because the city of Columbia is a fantastic place. It's welcoming. There was a time when you could voice your opinion on anything and everybody would be civil about it. They changed the size of the meeting room so we could invite more people in. When I say we, I viewed myself as a teammate with the city of Columbia. I saw the city of Columbia do everything they possibly could to invite public comment, whether it was a meeting at the high school or giving as much time as necessary in a forum like this for people to speak. I read this list that's there tonight, and I don't see one thing negative about developing the Bottoms area. Unless I missed something, Mrs. Farmer may point out something to me if I missed something there. But as an example, Mrs. Farmer and I were on the opposite sides of this equation. We never had a problem being civil with one another, and we never had a problem talking. When I walked in tonight, she was the second person I saw, and I shook her hand. I respect her right to differ with my thoughts for this. But the city of Columbia should be concerned about the welfare of their children. That's what I said in the beginning, and I'll say it now. If you don't have another way to fund your school system other than real estate, let's levy real estate taxes, which is levy on the homeowners, you're going to be passed behind. Thank you very much for your time. My cards are there, and I will take any questions that anybody would like to ask. Thank you.